starter where he can actually see the light turn green. See the lights behind the starter. He thinks it turned. I don't know. You know, in drag racing, I came from that sport. You could always tell when the green went. This sport is a decision call by that track official. Speaking of decision calls, look at this. Ford. Oh, what a run. Jon Moore put the Ford into that next round.
We said it earlier that Jon Moore is driving more aggressive with each and every racing event. It showed right there as he got the upset win over Dave Wysork and Nightlife. Jon Moore moves on.
We started going pretty good. I think the cars are really going away, Army. I think the course is disintegrating real fast.
When a course goes away, when the cars go away, that means it's actually going to get faster for you guys, though.
No, not necessarily. We're hitting bigger holes in there. The front tires are catching some sort of holes in there. I haven't looked at it, but I'm going to go down and look at it. There's some big holes down there. They're catching the tires and throwing the trucks now.
Jon Moore bringing up an interesting observation, Army. That is the junk cars. Remember, we're in the far north, Milwaukee, where the junk cars would be different from southern cars. Army's down trackside to explain it all.
A lot of salt is used on the roads up north, and it eats away. It erodes at the cars as they drive up and down the highway. When they go into the crunch pile and they eventually wind up in monster truck races for these fellas to run over, they collapse instantly, and it makes the track a whole lot more dangerous and a lot faster. The northern wreck cars, they're faster than the southern wreck cars.
Gee, I've never heard it put that way. I can't imagine wreck cars racing each other.
We're up north and we're having some fun.
Weird things happen.
Hey, look who's coming out for the Dodge people, Richard.
That is Gary Wiggins and the Mopar Magic. He runs a blown 440 cubic inch engine. He's from North Carolina. There's my buddy. That's a big old guy, too. Jessy Birgy, the gentle giant. He's from Wyoming, Michigan. He's driving the Chevrolet Playin for Keep, sponsored by Auto Value. And this ought to be a pretty even race.
It definitely should be a good race. And both of these fellas are really trying to put that first one under their belt on the national circuit. Both trucks look to be awfully, awfully even. 440 cubic inch Dodge going against the Chevrolet. Dodge is out just a little bit. Whoa, Birgy's coming out front. Into the wall. The Dodge will go on. Jessy Birgy doing some heads-up driving, Richard.
Takes a licking, but keeps on ticking. But he's got to get beat in this race as Gary Wiggins and Mopar Magic gets the win in the Dodge.
Richard, it's kind of amazing how the sport comes down to a bounce. Want you to watch Birgy. He's a player right now, but a bad bounce bangs him over to the left, comes right into our camera angle, picking the wheels up. Grateful that the wall was there. That'll put him out of the race. The Dodge will move on.
But good driving by Jessy Birgy to stave off a possible tragedy. Let's go trackside with the winner, Wiggins.
Jon Moore brought to the fact about the holes out there, the fact that the holes are developing in the track, and it looked like you guys had your hands full as a result of those holes.
Yeah, we did, and I'm having a lot of problems with the steering on account of it, too, because it's throwing you all around the track.
What about the fire that came from underneath the vehicle on the final jump? What was that a result of? You got a little flash fire.
Basically because I shifted it too late, really. I kind of was having my mind on the steering more than I did the tack, really.
So Gary Wiggins moves on to the quarterfinals. He's going to be joined by one of these two guys, either David Morris, your current national points leader, driving the Equalizer Chevrolet. He's out of Springfield, Tennessee. Or the guy already on the starting line, Bennet Clark, Cyldesdale, Powder Springs, Georgia. Bennet is the athlete that's pretty well done it all. He's involved in hunting, basketball, track, junior Olympics, rodeo, bull riding, monsters. There's not much he hasn't done.
And on his spare time, he drives monster trucks.
Yeah.
What you can look over here, Richard, is watch Equalizer. He'll go out. He will not really wing the engine. He goes out. He'll back on the throttle again, off, on, off. He's just got an area that truck's working, and it's good enough to win. Meanwhile, the Clydesdale was coming after him, but the Equalizer moved to that next round.
Well, Bennet Clark had a lot of bouncing problems in the Clydesdale machine. He gets beaten. David Morris moves on. We're going to move on to a commercial. Back with more in a moment on ESPN. We are back at the Wisconsin State Fairgrounds, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, as we're about to begin the quarterfinals of action. I'm Richard Leake, joined by Army Armstrong. Here's our first matchup. Ought to be a good one, too. It's Mike Wi, the Jersey Outlaw. He's from New Jersey in the Ford against Carolina crusher Jerry Porter from Wadesboro, North Carolina. They're both about equal in horsepower. They're both the same age. And they've both been in monster trucks about the same amount of time.
Yeah, but there's one big difference, Richard.
What?
One's a Ford, the other one's a Chevrolet. Who's going to go to the next round? We're going to find out. They leave side by side. Looks good. Looks clean. Second jump. Still look good right now. Who's going to make the most horsepower? Gary Porter bangs it at the end of Milwaukee.
He only won it, though, because the heartbreaker, the Jersey Outlaw, got a little bit out of shape midway down the track. That is what prevented him from getting a win, but congratulations to Gary Porter, Carolina Crusher. He now goes to the semifinals.
Gary Porter, we talked to you about the possibility of making a big day, either the Buffalo Tremor or King Krunch in the next round.
Well, normally when I race them, I usually win them. I'm going to have to still run a good straight race and push it to the limit.
Are you feeling confident today? You seem, to look at you, look like the old Gary Porter's back.
I am. I feel real confident today. I have had a few bad days in the past, but I think I'm back 100% today.
We'll see you in that next round.
Okay, thank you.
Mike Wine, what happened when you came off that first set of cars?
When I went back to the pits, I was having problems before. Changed the air pressure in the tires. I think I kind of messed up. I put a little bit too much air into them. Gave me a violent bounce over the first set of cars, and it rode on its nose for a while, and it was just better to let off of it.
So Mike Wine is going to head back to New Jersey. This is King Krunch. It's Scott Stevens. I kid him. I call him Pretty Boy out on the track because all the girls seem to like him. He's taking on Johnny K, the driver of the Buffalo Tremor. John is from New York. It ought to be a pretty good race here.
Both big block Chevrolets running alcohol for fuel. Two of the most powerful trucks on the circuit. They're going to square off against each other. It will be a driver's race. Look at Stevens. Come on to mid-range. They almost got together. The Texan's going to go into the next round. But he had to backpedal over the final jump to go into that next round, Richard.
They not only almost got together, I'm not sure. I think they might have gotten together. The win to Scott Stevens and King Krunch, but a hell of a race from Johnny K.
Scott, it looks like you fellas actually got together coming off that second jump, or first jump.
I felt just a little bump, but the track's so rough I couldn't really tell if it was him or me just hitting bad. We're just doing what we got to do. We're still not running that hard, and I know next round we're really going to have to gear up and get down the track a little faster.
And look who is at the starting line, the driver that was livid with track officials, and he had every reason to be earlier as he really got roasted out of a call. Jon Breen and the Mad Dog gets to come back as a fast loser, and he is taking on the no problem of John Moore. I'll tell you, I've got to be rooting for Jon Breen after that, what happened to him early.
Yeah, he said if he can get past the first 36 inches in this track, he's got an even chance. Let's see what's going to happen. Look at this, Chevrolet. He's out now. Moore starts to come back for the Ford Cam. Richard. Whoa, almost on his head. The Ford goes around, and they're having trouble shutting these ramps down this afternoon.
You notice we had the same reaction as John Moore nearly went on his side. He is getting a resounding win this time. Look at him. He is pumped up. Thumbs up to the crowd. He goes into the semifinals. Let's see who's going to join him. That is sitting on the inside, the Equalizer of Dangerous David Morris on the outside, Mopar Magic Gary Wiggins. And I'm going to say it right now, no contest here.
I don't know what's going to happen here. Equalizer can only go so far. You notice he jumps out. Now he'll hold his engine at a certain RPM. He will not be able to really go upstairs with it. However, as far out that he is far enough to win. The Dodge could come back on him. He's not going to do it. The Equalizer is still not 100%, Richard, but he's still alive. He's still chasing these points.
And he is again in the semifinals. And that's who we've got. Crusher from Carolina, King Krunch, no problem Equalizer. All the action straight ahead on ESPN.
Powertrax and the Renegade's TNT Monster Truck Challenge is brought to you by TNT Motorsports, the nation's leader in pulling and monster truck racing.